Hey guys, it's Pat here. Today I'm going to tell you all the secrets, this is very top secret, on how to watch Star Wars correctly. This could be your first time watching it, and if it is, spoilers, like lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of spoilers. Or if you just want to do a big Star Wars marathon. So, most of you will think you have 3 orders to watch it. You have release order, chronological order, and Machete Order. So I'll explain all 3 of them. Release order is this the order of release. So 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, Rogue One, 8, Solo. It has its flaws, which is at the end of episode 6, you see Luke looking up and you see 3 ghosts. Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Hayden Christensen! Who the is this? Obviously, if you're watching Harmy's version or the original version, it would have Sebastian Shaw, which is the guy that got unmasked. But unless you're watching those versions, you're like, this guy isn't the same guy that we just unmasked. So that's why you have chronological order, which is 1, 2, 3, Solo, Rogue One, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But there's also problems with that as well. For example,
no, I am your father.
Also, if you start with episode 1, then your first introduction to the Star Wars universe is
Misako Jaja Binks.
Also, episode 1 is just essentially backstory to Anakin Skywalker, which is Darth Vader, which is just meaningless because you don't know who Darth Vader is. So, that's why we have Machete Order, which goes 4, 5, 2, 3, 6. So basically, you start off with 4, so you got a good introduction to Star Wars. Then you go to episode 5, which you find out that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father. So that reveal is not ruined. So when you go back to episode 2, you're skipping episode 1, which makes the prequels a lot better. So when you get rid of episode 1, all you're missing out on is Darth Maul and Qui-Gon, which in episode 2 you find out that Qui-Gon is Dooku's apprentice and Obi-Wan's master, which is all you really need to know about Qui-Gon. In episode 1, Darth Maul is actually a Sith assassin, and because Darth Plagueis is still alive, but we'll get to that in another video. So episode 1 is useless. So what in Machete Order, the prequels are supposed to just be a flashback and kind of a mirror of what Luke is doing. So what happens is, then when you get back to episode 6 after episode 3, you get reintroduced to Luke, choking guards and doing Vader-like things, which makes you wonder if Luke is going to turn to the dark side, like Anakin is. So then at the end, when you've got Emperor is taunting Luke, telling him to join the dark side and replace his father, you kind of actually wonder, because normally when you watch Release Order, you kind of just think, Luke's going to not turn to the dark side. Luke will never do that. But the problem now with Machete Order is we've got episode 7, 8, Rogue One, and eventually Solo. So what we've got to do then is that we're going to have to include it into the Machete Order. So what I decided to do is after 6 we go to 7 and 8, so you can watch all the Star Wars movies, but then we should watch all the standalone films, including episode 1, afterwards. So then episode 1 works as backstory, which is really what it is. But I decided we should compose a second Machete Order, which is different. It goes 4, 5, 2, 3, Rogue One, 6, Solo, 7, 8. So how this works is 4, 5, 2, 3 is as normal, but then you get Rogue One, because at the end of episode 3, you see them looking out at the Death Star, which then you get a whole movie about the Death Star. So then after Rogue One, you see episode 6 where they blow up the Death Star. Even though it's not the same Death Star, it kind of works together. So then after episode 6 you go to Solo, which we can all assume is a movie about Han Solo, which will build up for, spoiler alert, in episode 7, Han's death. Then it goes to episode 8, which goes after episode 7. So then, they're your two options if you haven't seen Star Wars before. But I did a third one, which is 100% original for if you've already seen Star Wars. It goes 1, 2, 3, Solo, Rogue One, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, chronological order. But why I think this is better than watching release order is when you're not gonna miss any reveals because you've already seen the movie before. But you get to really immerse yourself with the universe as you see it from start to finish. If you like, you can also add Rebels and the Clone Wars, but they'll be hard to binge watch. And you have to find out the chronological episodes, which I don't recommend, unless you're a bigger Star Wars fan than me. But also, the problem if you watch it in release order when you've already watched all the movies, it kind of will ruin the flow of it a bit, because you go from the time of the Empire, then so you go back to the Clone Wars, and then you go another how many years into the future to episode 7. I just think it would be better if you start at the start and finish at the finish. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope this video entertained you enough, but goodbye.